You guys can follow along together. You guys ready? So the story is Through Grandpa's Eyes by Patricia McLaughlin. You should be turning to the first page. And I need everyone to be following along. Kenneth, please have your head up. Is everyone ready? Okay. Of all the houses that I know, oh, sorry, I'm going to be reading, and you guys are just following along silently, okay? And remember, while we're reading, try to think of character traits you could think about the grandpa, okay? As we're reading.
There's something in my book.
Okay, that's fine. Just leave it alone, please. Of all the houses that I know, I like my grandpa's best. My friend Peter has a new glass house with pebble path gardens that go nowhere. And Maddy lives next door in an old wooden house with rooms behind rooms, all with carved doors and brass doorknobs. They are fine houses, but Grandpa's house is my favorite, because I see it through Grandpa's eyes. Grandpa is blind. He doesn't see the house the way I do. He has his own way of seeing. In the morning, the sun pushes through the curtains into my eyes. I burrow down into the covers to get away, but the light follows me. I give up, throw back the covers, and run to Grandpa's room. The sun wakes Grandpa differently from the way it wakes me. He says it touches him, warming him awake. When I peek around the door, Grandpa is already up and doing his morning exercises, bending and stretching by the bed. He stops and smiles because he hears me. Good morning, John. Where's Nana? I ask him. Don't you know? He says, bending and stretching. Close your eyes, John, and look through my eyes. I close my eyes. Down below, I hear the banging of pots and the sound of water running that I didn't hear before. Nana is in the kitchen making breakfast, I say. When I open my eyes again, I can see Grandpa nodding at me. He is tall with dark gray hair, and his eyes are sharp blue, even though they are not sharp seeing. I exercise with Grandpa, up and down. Then I try to exercise with my eyes closed. 1, 2, says Grandpa. 3, 4. Wait, I cry. I am still on 1. 2 when Grandpa's on 3, 4. I fall sideways. 3 times. Grandpa laughs as he hears my thumps on the carpet. Breakfast, calls Nana from downstairs. I smell eggs frying, says Grandpa. He bends his head close to mine, and buttered toast. The wooden banister on the stairway has been worn smooth from Grandpa running his fingers up and down. I walk behind him, my fingers following Grandpa's smooth path. We go into the kitchen. I smell flowers, says Grandpa. What flowers, I ask. He smiles. He loves guessing games. Not violets, John, not peonies. Carnations, I cry. I love guessing games. Silly, Grandpa laughs. Marigolds. Right, Nana? Nana laughs too. That's too easy, she says, putting 2 plates of food in front of us. It's not too easy, I protest. How can Grandpa tell? All the smells mixed together in the air. Close your eyes, John, says Nana. Tell me what breakfast is. I smell the eggs, I smell the toast, I say, my eyes closed, and something else. The something else doesn't smell good. That something else, says Nana smiling, is the marigolds. When he eats, Grandpa's plate of food is a clock. 2 eggs at 9 o'clock and toast at 2 o'clock, says Nana to Grandpa, and a dollop of jam. A dollop of jam, I tell Grandpa, at 6 o'clock. I make my plate of food, a clock too, and eat through Grandpa's eyes. After breakfast, I follow Grandpa's path through the dining room, to the living room, to the window that he opens to feel the weather outside, to the table where he finds his pipe, and to his cello in the corner. Will you play with me, John? He asks. He tunes our cellos without looking. I play with the music stand and music before me. I know all about sharps and flats. I see them on the music, but Grandpa plays them. They are in his fingers. For a moment, I close my eyes and play through Grandpa's eyes. My fingering hand slides up and down the cello, neck toward the pegs for flats, toward the bridge for sharps. But with my eyes closed, my bow falls from the strings. Listen, says Grandpa. I'll play a piece I learned when I was your age. It was my favorite. He plays the tune while I listen. That is the way Grandpa learns new pieces, by listening. Now, says Grandpa, let's do it together. That's fine, says Grandpa as we play. But C sharp, John, he calls to me. C sharp. brings out her clay to sculpt my grandpa's head. Sit still, she grumbles. I won't, he says, imitating her grumbling voice, making us laugh. While she works, Grandpa takes out his piece of wood. He holds it when he's thinking. His fingers move back and forth across the wood, making smooth paths like the ones on the stair banister. Can I have a piece of thinking wood too? I ask. Grandpa reaches in his shirt pocket and tosses a small bit of wood in my direction. I catch it. It is smooth with no splinters. The river is up, says Nana. Grandpa nods a short nod. It rained again last night. Did you hear the gurgling in the rain gutter? As they talk, my fingers begin a river on my thinking wood. The wood will winter in my pocket, so when I am not at Grandpa's house, I can still think about Nana, Grandpa, and the river. When Nana is finished working, Grandpa runs his hand over the sculpture, his fingers soft and quick like butterflies. It looks like me, he says, surprised. My eyes have already told me that it looks like Grandpa, but he shows me how to feel his face with my 3 middle fingers, and then a clay face. Pretend your fingers are water, he tells me. My waterfall fingers flow down his clay head, filling in the spaces beneath the eyes like little pools before they flow down over the cheeks. It does feel like Grandpa. This time my fingers tell me. Okay, we're going to stop right there. We don't have time to finish the whole book right now. So right now we're going to, you can keep your books open because we're going to look through the story to find evidence, to find different character traits that show Grandpa. So we're going to do the first one together, and then once we do that one together, you guys are going to work with your table partner and try to come up with the next 2 or 3, whichever you have time for. So right now, we should be looking through the story to find character traits, to find words or phrases that are evidence that we can use to figure out a character trait. So something Grandpa does, says, or thinks. So let's look through the book with your table partner, or if you have your own by yourself. I want you guys to look through. Try to find something in the story that we can write together that can be a character trait for Grandpa. And once you have one, I want you to raise your hand. Daniel, you have one? Well, you need to tell us what evidence you found in the book so we can use that character trait. So we need to find, does someone have evidence from the story? William, do you?
Yes, we found it in the morning.
Sorry?
He exercises.
Okay, so he exercises in the morning. What page? Well, these pages aren't numbered, so that's a little tricky, but maybe you could tell us by what the picture is on the page? I think it's this one? Yes. Okay, which line? So everyone should be turned to this page. And it says, I exercise with Grandma, or Grandpa. Is that what you were talking about, William? I exercise with Grandpa. Okay, so if we use I exercise with Grandpa, that's something he says, thinks, or does. Does, okay, and what's a character trait we could use for that? And if you can't think of one, remember what do we have glued in our eyes and notebooks to help us? A list of character traits, right? Okay, so I'm going to do in quotes.